Article right here from CNBC. It says Bill and Melinda Gates, and it quotes them, "No, it's not fair that we have so much wealth." All right. The article goes on to say Bill and Melinda Gates released their 10th annual letter Tuesday morning. In it, billionaire philanthropists answered the 10 toughest questions that they get asked, including, is it fair that you have so much influence? No, it's not fair that we have so much wealth when billions of others have so little. Now, what's ironic is they said the question is it fair that you have so much influence? But they immediately go into talking about wealth and the wealth gap. And the wealth gap is important for a number of reasons. I'll get into that in a minute, but I wanted to just highlight a couple of absurdities in this article, and kind of point out what they're saying and what they actually mean. What they're saying and what they actually mean. You know, it goes on to say that 82% of the total wealth created was the top 1%. The bottom 50% of individuals saw no increase in their wealth at all. And it talks about Warren Buffett, the relationship with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Buffett agrees that such extreme wealth inequality needs a fix. In fact, the real problem is with the U.S. economy is that people like him, says the billionaire, the prosperity has been unbelievable for the extremely rich people, but money is increasingly concentrated in the hands of a few. Now, there's a reason for all of this, okay? There's a reason for all of this, and they kind of talk about it down here later on in the article. It says, in 2017, the power couple donated $4.6 billion to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the world's largest private charity foundation, which focuses on improving people's health, well-being, and education, all right? Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have both signed this thing called the Giving Pledge. In fact, Warren Buffett started the Giving Pledge, and it was basically a commitment that wealthy billionaires and wealthy individuals around the world pledge to give away their wealth to charity. So what exactly does that mean? Well, let's take a look real quick. I wanted to show you a few slides here from a presentation that I do, and all of this information is at my site, purposedrivenblueprint.org, purposedrivenblueprint.org. If you want to know the secrets of how the wealthiest families and individuals and business owners and entrepreneurs keep their money and keep their tax dollars, go to purposedrivenblueprint.org. You can learn all about it there. You can actually apply to see if this might be a fit for you. This system might be a fit for you. But I wanted to draw your attention to this. 8 men have as much wealth as 3.6 billion people in the world today. And the wealth gap, like they illustrated in the article, the wealth gap is getting larger and larger and wider and wider. There is a huge disparity between the top families and the bottom families, but this information is not new. This system that the wealthy individuals follow, that I can show you at purposedrivenblueprint.org, that you can learn more about, this system has been around for 106 years. This is nothing new. This is how the wealthy keep their wealth. They keep it safe and protected from taxation, from interest expense, from lawsuits, from judgments, from inflation, from divorces, everything you could imagine. And they pass this information, this little known system, the 1041 Trust and Foundation System, they pass that information down from generation to generation. In fact, the best way to illustrate this system, the way that they do it, and the way that Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Bezos, his ex-wife now, the way that they do this is they own nothing, but they control everything. In fact, Nelson Rockefeller said in 2014, the secret to success is to own nothing, but to control everything. So how do the wealthy pull this game off? Well, typically this information has been passed around from wealthy family to wealthy family. In fact, Warren Buffett learned this system growing up from his father, Howard Buffett. Howard Buffett was a representative from Nebraska, and he learned this system as a congressman in Congress. Most politicians, most people in Congress use the 1041 system to keep their wealth and their income safe and protected from taxation and other things. And so Howard Buffett learned it in Congress. He taught Warren Buffett how to do this. And then Warren Buffett taught his son, Howard Buffett Jr., And also Warren Buffett taught Bill Gates. You know, when Warren Buffett and Bill Gates first met in 2000, they met, which the meeting was supposed to be like an hour long. They ended up clearing their schedules for the whole day. And Warren Buffett brought in his tax team and actually showed this system to Bill Gates. And they became best friends after that meeting. They ended up starting together the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right? And Warren Buffett pledged to donate 90% of his wealth to charity back in 2000. The first major donation that he made was to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It was $34 billion. Well, guess what they did with that money? What did Bill and Melinda Gates do with that $34 billion that Warren Buffett gave them? They turned right around and they bought shares in a little-known company called Berkshire Hathaway. Okay? When Mark Zuckerberg took Facebook public, he met with Bill Gates in 2015. Bill Gates taught Mark Zuckerberg this system, and Mark Zuckerberg pledged to the world that he was going to be donating 99% of his Facebook stock to charity. Well, when he donated that Facebook stock to charity, did he give up control of that stock? Or did he just donate it to a charitable 501c3 for tax purposes? Well, the answer can be found in the actual tax returns of these private foundations themselves. In fact, here's the actual 990PF, the tax form, the return of private foundation for the Buffett Early Childhood Fund, which is his father set up based in Omaha, Nebraska. You can see it was in Omaha, Nebraska, and it is a 501c3. You can see that check mark down at the bottom here, 501c3 tax-exempt organization. Well, what did these wealthy families put into their private foundations? Well, in this case, you can see that in 1 year, in the Buffett Early Childhood Fund, Warren Buffett donated $32 million worth of Berkshire Hathaway Class B shares. And here's the key. Now that those shares are in the 501c3 in the private foundation, they're all tax exempt. This is a tax exempt entity, a 501c3 tax exempt foundation. All right. This was an article that came out recently that said Buffett donates $3.1 billion to Gates and 4 other charities. Warren Buffett on Monday donated roughly $3 billion of Berkshire Hathaway stock to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Why does he do that? Because it's a tax deduction for him. It's a tax deduction. And now they can buy and sell and trade those shares completely tax-free. That's right. No more capital gains tax on any of those shares. All of the taxes go away when you donate to your private foundation. This article came out shortly after, and it was interesting to me. It says, the Gates Foundation is now one of Berkshire Hathaway's largest shareholders. So this is how the game is played, folks. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation right here, 990PF. This is the actual return of private foundation for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You can see that it's a 501c3. Mark Zuckerberg, here's an article showing that Mark Zuckerberg pledged to donate 99% of his Facebook stock over his lifetime. Where did he donate it to? That's right, the Chan Zuckerberg Private Family Foundation. Now, private family foundations, although they are tax exempt, they operate different than public charities. There's a difference between public charities and private foundations. Private foundations, you don't have to give away all of that money to charity. You get to put that wealth into assets and grow that wealth from generation to generation to generation so that you can do more charitable work and more charitable giving. But make no mistake about it, this game of charity is all about tax savings. You can see that in the Chan Zuckerberg Foundation here, in 1 year, they donated $1.1 billion worth of Facebook Class B stock. So they donate this stock to their own private family foundation, and now it's all tax exempt. So when you see articles like this talking about Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Mark Cuban, all of these wealthy billionaires giving their wealth away to charity, make no mistake about it. It's not that they're giving up control of their assets or control of their wealth. They're just simply giving up ownership to their own private foundations for tax purposes. If you want more information on this, the link is below. I have a link to this article where you can find it, as well as a link to thepurposedrivenblueprint.org, where you can learn more about how they actually pull this off, what the ins and outs are of the 1041 trust and foundation system, how the wealthy pull this off, and how you might be able to do the same thing with your business income and your wealth to protect it from taxes, to grow your wealth, and to actually give back more in a more meaningful way.